That means you're trusting your own heart opposed to what the scriptures say. Anyone that put out there you should be on your own and learn on your own and be down with your own, they're not dealing with the Spirit of the Most High or the scriptures. They're telling you to follow them as a man or whatever the case is. But they're not dealing with the organized structure that's set up. Read.
That thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying along.
That thy soul not be torn in pieces as a bull straying along. Eventually they're by themselves, upset, mad, like a wild bull. Okay? Read on.
Verse 3. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves, and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree.
See, they won't grow. Why? Because you need teachers to constantly nourish you and help you grow to full age. That's what you need. You got to be constantly nourished with new understanding and new teachings and new life when it comes to the Word. If you don't have that, then you're stuck with what you have. And you stay at that point. And then that becomes deteriorated. That withers away. Okay? Speaking of that, when it comes to seed coming into the Word, one relates to one type of seed. You're either one seed or the other, according to the gospel of Christ. Let's go to Matthew the 13th chapter and discuss these seeds.
St. Matthew chapter 13 verse 1.
Read.
The same day went Yeshua out of the house, and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow.
And we know the sower that went forth to sow is Christ. Read.
Verse 4. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside.
Now listen to this clearly. He's given a parable of what happens when one receives the word. A sower is a man who deal with his husbandry, or he deal with growing crops. Now he plant a lot of seed, all the same, but some of the seeds won't make it, but some will take root. Yeshua is going to show you who these seeds are. Listen to this clearly. Go ahead.
And when he sowed seed, some seeds fell by the wayside.
Some seeds fell by the wayside.
And the fowls came and devoured them up.
And the fowls came and ate them or destroyed them. That means they got attacked from the outside. They would have taken root, but something came and flew and ate the seed. Christ is going to explain what that seed is. Read.
Verse 5. Some fell upon stony places.
Some fell upon stony places.
Where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth.
So they was on the stone, and they didn't have no earth to actually take root, so they couldn't grow. Read.
And the sun, verse 6. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had not root, they withered away.
Go ahead.
And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them.
And the what?
And the thorns sprung up and choked them.
And the thorns sprung up and choked them. Read.
Verse 8. But others fell into good ground.
But others fell into good ground.
And brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who have ears to hear, let him hear.
And it said, then Yeshua says, whoever have ears to hear, let him hear. If your spiritual ear is open, listen clearly. Because all of us have been planted by Christ, and all of us are one of these seeds. It's going to show you clearly. Read.
Verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Why are you speaking to them in parables? Read.
Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Because it's given to you, talking to the disciples, it's given to you to understand the mysteries of the kingdom. Read.
But to them it is not given.
But to them it is not given. Go ahead.
Verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not.
There's people who see, they have eyes, but they can't see. You have people with ears who can hear clearly, physically, but they can't understand.
Neither do they understand.
Neither do they understand. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand.
Go ahead.
And seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross.
So that means you're going to have many people, brothers and sisters, who hear the truth and will not receive it. They'll hear the same thing you have heard, but still won't receive it. With ears and eyes, you can show them plainly, but yet they won't see it. They won't hear it. They can't spiritually discern it. Listen, go ahead.
For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
Go ahead.
But blessed are your eyes, for they see.
Blessed are your eyes, for they see. Go ahead.
And your ears, for they hear.
And your ears that you heard. Go ahead.
Verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
So now Yeshua will break down that parable that he said in public to the disciples. Listen to this.
Verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not.
One hear the word, but really they're young, they really can't understand it. They're still growing. Read.
Then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart.
So even though they was getting something, Satan would immediately send a spirit from someplace to take away what they needed to grow upon. Understand that clearly. They don't understand it all the way, but they're interested. And Satan will throw something out there to stop them from progressing. Someone may come, well, yeah, I understand what he's saying. That's true. Yeah, I know them and all that. Yeah, a matter of fact, I need you to look at this and check out this. And now you forgot what was so important, what intrigued you to the truth from the beginning. Read.
And when anyone heareth verse 20. But he that received seed into stony places.
Now, these are the ones that receive the seed into stony places. Go ahead.
The same is he that heareth the word.
They hear it.
And anon with joy receive it.
They receive it. Oh yeah, they're telling the truth. Go ahead.
Yet hath he not root in himself.
But he don't have root in himself. He have more confidence, or she have more confidence in what they're hearing. But they're not rooted themselves to believe it and understand it themselves. Read.
But dureth for a while.
They'll stick around for a little bit. Read.
For when tribulation or persecution ariseth.
But no soon as tribulation or persecution happen in their lives.
Because of the word.
Because of the word.
By and by he is offended.
By and by he is offended. These are they who understand the word, get it, have everything going on, but yet when persecution comes, or that turn that happens in their life, and it happens to all of us who get the truth, the first thing they hear wrong or see wrong or whatever the case is, they become offended. These are people who are easily offended. But if you're going to persevere, you have to grow tough skin. You can't be offended with whatever someone do or say or whatever the case is. You must persevere. Read.
For when tribulation or persecution ariseth.
That means tribulation comes, or something happens where something changed in their life. They may have lost their job, or something is happening. Why? When you get the truth, Satan starts taking things away from you that you received under his kingdom. And Christ is bringing you down to raise you for his kingdom, to raise you back up the way he needs. But some people be like, well, I know this is the word, but I have to go do this. I have to go and do this. Even though I know what's going on, I have to go get my life in this world established when this life is fallen. This world is fallen. Listen to this clearly. Go ahead.
Because of the word.
Because of the word.
By and by he is offended.
By and by he is offended. Read.
Verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word.
Here are they who receiveth the word and get choked by thorns. Listen to this clearly, because this pertains to a lot of the seeds that's been planted. The seed is the truth. Read.
And the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word.
So instead of growing in the word, the cares of this world, you have some people who see the truth, understand it, but won't accept it. Why? They have aspirations in Satan's world. They're looking at the things they might lose if they accept the truth. They understand it, they can hear it, they can see it, but they're not willing to sacrifice what they have obtained in this particular world. Listen to this clearly. Or they'll say, well, listen, yeah, I understand the truth and all that, but I'm going out there to go get some money. I got to get some money so we can help the truth. Listen, it ain't even about that, going to find money to help the truth. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. If you're on the road of Christ, he'll put what you need on that road. You don't have to go into Satan's world to try to help Christ's kingdom. Okay? Finish reading.
Verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word.
It chokes the word. He's going out to do all these things when he could have gotten everything on the road by learning. And usually when you come to the truth, the Most High bring you low on purpose. It says when you come to serve the Most High, prepare your heart for temptation. And when you're brought low, don't run. It tell you that in Ecclesiasticus. You can't run when you're brought low. It's the Most High bringing you low so he can build you the way he wants. You were built in Satan's kingdom from kindergarten on up to serve this kingdom. You had nothing and you was shaped to serve in this kingdom. So when you come to serve the Most High and you start losing things, the world will claim that you are not blessed. Or the world will claim, look at your life, you're going down, whatever the case is. When really, it's the Most High bringing you down so that he can build you the way he needs you. Christ had no home. Christ had nothing, but he was rich. Why? Every place he went, everyone opened up things to him. You had kings that was giving him things. You have Joseph Arimatheus who was looking out for him.